Hey, visionaries! You are now tuned in to the Starts with a Vision podcast, where everything you do in life starts with a vision. If your vision is clear or foggy, you are in the right place. It's time to go take what's yours, because there's a vision only you can see, and a dream only you can dream. And now, your host, Mr. Starts with a Vision.
Yo, y'all are going to love today's episode. I'm going to say it one more time. Y'all are going to love today's episode. And I'm going to tell you why you're going to love it. Because today's guest has the second highest downloads of all of this whole podcast. When he came on this podcast, people went crazy. People loved him, messaging me, messaging him on Instagram, texting me, saying, man, this was an amazing episode, blah, blah, blah. Because he's so real and he don't care. And he just speaks from his heart and with passion, and you could tell he's genuine. So today's guest is Dominic Turner. If you don't remember Dominic Turner, he's a wholesaler out of Dallas, Texas. Been in real estate for 7 years. He's built a business, employees. He's done, had ups and downs. He's definitely learned so much entrepreneurially, hiring people, firing people, building teams, all this kind of stuff. So today we brought him back on the show, and we wanted to talk about multiple streams of income and why do people say do what you love and, find your passion and all this type of stuff. So you are going to love this episode. Listen to this in its entirety, because this is very, very, very valuable. So I thank you for tuning in and enjoy today's episode. What's going on, everybody listening on the podcast? This is Isaiah Fowler, a.k.a. Mr. Starts with a Vision, and I'm very thankful that you guys are here today. We have a returning guest, the first guest, not the first returning guest, but the highest downloaded guest, okay? We did a podcast about, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago, and it was very, very popular. And I wanted to bring him back on because, everybody has layers to them. So the first time, he interviewed, it was more so just strictly real estate and entrepreneurship. But now we're really going to be diving in even deeper into, his mind and just entrepreneurship as a whole. So today's guest, man, is Dominic Turner. Dom, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing very well, my brother. Very well. It's a pleasure for you to have me back on your platform.
Absolutely,
First time we broke the internet, man.
Something like that.
Something like that. So we both are men of always trying to outdo the last thing that we've done. So we're back. And let's double up on what we did last time.
Absolutely, man. And you're only as good as your last win anyway, So,
absolutely.
But yeah, I know that we talk often, and just really about this entrepreneurship thing, this journey that we're on. And I think that one of the biggest things, just from a reflection standpoint and a thankful standpoint, is being thankful that multiple streams are in place, but then kind of, talking to older people, we just continue to get enlightened. And then the whole passion thing as well, man. So I guess we could start off with, passion in terms of what you're doing. And I know that you said that, when people say, do what you're passionate about, you say that's bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could start with that, man. And I want to just ask, why do you feel like that's the truth? And then also talk about just the context in what you mean by that.
All right. So when I speak about, you and I, we've had off air conversation about this. So passion to me is something that can be attained. Mm-hmm. And, we're taught, do what you love, you never work a day in your life type of thing. Mm-hmm. And, going back to my first endeavor, which is, real estate, which is my first business. I never, like, looking back and reflecting, like, man, I never necessarily was passionate about selling real estate, like, I mean, and then I started to question, I'm like, is that even really a passion? Like, what is that, what is that to be passionate about? And I realized that, once you start to really dig deep and once you accomplish certain things and you hit certain milestones, I realized that I'm passionate about a lot of different things. Not just, or, I have a fondness for different things. I love different businesses. I'm passionate about different things like outside of business that doesn't have anything that has nothing to do with any type of monetary or financial gain. And usually, so you start to really, like, try to really figure out, what is this passion thing? And what I've come to the conclusion of so far is that passion is developed when you do something over and over and over again. Okay. And so, yeah, I may not be passionate about learning a different language, but if I practice it every day, every hour, over and over and over again, I will become passionate about it through time. Because you become obsessed with it because you want to tackle it. Right.
You want to become better at it.
Right. So it's not the fact that passion is bullshit, but I guess it's to dispel this whole myth that you only are allowed one passion in life. Right.
That's deep.
There's one passion. Like, I'm today Dominic is passionate about this, and tomorrow I'm gonna be as far as it, because you're an entrepreneurship blog, we're gonna try to keep it on the entrepreneurship tip or business tip. And so, for me in business as an entrepreneur, yeah, I have a fondness, I have a love, I have a passion, whatever you want to say, for real estate. But I also have a love and a passion for, e-commerce, online marketing, right? I also have a passion for consulting, for my different, coaching clients. So I have a passion for that. Who knows, 2 years from now, I'm going to find something else that I fucking love in business. So it's not just this one all end all type of thing.
And I think that comes from what you're saying is you've immersed yourself in different things. And so you've learned to like and love and enjoy those things, and you want to go deeper. And so because you want to go deeper, that's where, like, the passion comes from.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man.
And the things that I don't love, there are things that I'm not. There are things that I'll start and I'll do, and it's like, the writing is on the wall, and it's like, all right, I really don't like this, and I don't see myself doing this, and I won't do it. I'll stop. But I mean, at the end of the day, I believe, I've grown extremely passionate about things that I spent. Like, just think about that. When you're with, say for instance, you're dating, and you're getting to know, you find some woman that, that fits your preferences and things of that nature, and you're courting for her attention, and you're dating her and all this jazz, and the more dates you go on, in the beginning you may be like, oh, I kind of like this chick, and it turns into, okay, date 1, date 2, date 3, date 5, like, damn, I probably really, and then, y'all have sex and shit like that, and then all of a sudden it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Next thing you know, it turns into, oh, I kind of like this girl, to I like this girl, to, you know, damn, she bombs, fuck, like, you know, and you know, maybe I could explore something deeper. Next thing you know, you're introducing her to your moms, and you know, once that happens, it's all she wrote.
It's all she wrote.
I'm in a relationship. Oh, damn, I think I could be in a relationship with this guy. Damn, I think I love this girl. Damn, you know what? I see myself having a family with this woman. Oh man, let me go ring shopping. Let me propose. The next thing you know, it's, you know, so like over time though, it's like the deeper you get into something, like, you know, using that's the best analogy that I could use is when you get in a relationship with a man or a woman, and the more you're into it with someone, next thing you know, damn, I didn't think I liked short girls. I didn't think I liked girls with natural hair. I didn't think I liked, a chick from this demographic or what have you, right? Like, because a lot of that's like, we have this idea of what we think we love and what we want until you actually explore it. Right. So, right. It's what Will Smith said, fuck all that. Like, fuck everything. Just decide. And
I'm willing to die for it, what he said.
Yeah, like just decide, and you at some point you have to force yourself to go into something, right? Like you have to. There's always that initial push that only you can do for yourself. Like you can, get yourself going. So, like for me, when I made a decision to get into my first business, which is real estate, I just decided. I say, hey, this is what it's going to be. I didn't know if I really would like it or if I would love it. It wasn't a passion at that time. I just was like, okay, this is something I got to do. And that's what happened. I pushed myself into it, and the more and more I accomplished and I set goals for myself and I hit certain milestones, it's like, okay, cool. Right. But then, you also, just like with any relationship with the woman or a man, in any relationship, it kind of grows stale over time.
Oh, right. And that's when you kind of want to get something new.
There you go.
Whoa.
New. Right. I need that new, right?
Right.
And I'm not, and that's when you start
a new business.
You start, there you go. You start scoping around. You're like, okay, what else? I've tackled this. I've accomplished so much in this. I don't want to necessarily divorce it, or I don't want to break away from it. But now it's time to open up, a new possibility. Right. Like now I want to accomplish that. I want to attack that.
Right. Just for example, like so when you meet a guy or a girl, you don't know if you're going to like that person the same way you didn't know if you was going to really like real estate. But you just made a decision to pursue that.
Right.
And a lot of people, they are so focused on, finding what they love. People say all the time, they don't know what they love. So that stops them from even learning what they love. You see what I'm saying?
True.
Because it's like, if you don't know what you love, but you're not willing to try something because you're so focused on doing the perfect thing first or the right thing first, then how are you ever going to learn what you love?
Right, absolutely.
And that just kind of goes to your point and exactly what you're saying, because, man, it just gets deep. And that's crazy, man. That's very, very, very crazy. So what do you so like how do you go about in terms of like, pursuing something new per se, or starting a new venture? Like, how do you go about that while remaining, grounded and focused and, to the point where nothing is like just everywhere and there's still like structure?
How do you go to something new by still staying grounded, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So, for example, let's say, you're in real estate and you want to do something new. Like, do you just cold turkey, like cut off, the real estate, or do you kind of just continue to like do that a little bit and then like figure out something new and what your passion is and then just kind of like open up that, or like how do you do it? Because I don't want everybody listening to be all confused.
No, you don't. You don't. Just like you don't. Well, I'm gonna stay off the relationship analogy, but you don't just hop out. It's not that easy, especially if you're. It's easy to just do that if like you never want to do that. You want to kind of you never want to leave the thing that. It's not about leaving something. It's more so about jumping into something else, right? Mm-hmm. Before you even take that next leap. So you don't want to necessarily just like completely jump out. And so you want to tippy-toe your way to something new more than anything, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's more so I'm going to implement certain things in this business to allow me to kind of start focusing on other things.
While the last thing is still doing what it's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't want to be stupid, mm-hmm. right? You don't want to necessarily leave a good thing if it's generating income for you and things of that nature as far as business is concerned, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want to just leave the party,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So you want to plant the seeds, right? You when you plant a garden, right? Think about this: when you're planting a garden, you don't go out and say like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go just build this huge fucking assortment of vegetation, right? Mm-hmm. Like I'm not, like you're gonna start with the tomatoes, right?
Right.
You're gonna perfect that. Like, okay, like I know this is the type of fertilizer tomatoes. Like I know it needs this amount of time in the sunlight. I know all the different minutia. And once you develop that system, right, and it's like, okay, now it's just like clockwork. Now I'm gonna go start with my lettuce, and then you figure that out, and then you create a system for that. Like what, mm-hmm. What is it that lettuce needs, right? And then you move on to the other things, and you get into cabbage and carrots and all that other shit. Mm-hmm. So you don't just go out and say, look, I'm gonna plant all these different seeds and water all that at the same time and just expect all of that shit just to crop, right? So it's more so when it comes to business, when you start to try to and me and my business partner, we discuss this all the time. How we have to time block for each and every little thing that we got going on. Mm-hmm. I mean, you and I, like, dude, my dreams are fucking enormous, bro. Like, right. It's ridiculous. Like, it'll frighten the average man. Mm-hmm. Of how big they are and the amount of things we want to accomplish just in this small lifetime. Right. So, I just think that before you hop into the next thing, you want to develop, and when it comes to business, you want to develop a system, and processes and procedures to where that shit becomes automated, to where, okay, I can, like, I'm gonna stay grounded, and I'm still gonna be the puppet master of this business, but I'm gonna develop systems, tools, and put people in place to pretty much operate it to where I don't have to be on a day-to-day. Right. Once that happens, then, and you perfected it, you mastered it, it's time to go master something else. Absolutely. And then that's when you jump in. Mm-hmm. And I said all that to say is, build it up, you nurture it, and once it start rolling like clockwork, then you move into something else.
Right. And you just managing the previous thing.
Yeah, that's it. You just manage everything else. You know, you may not be in it on a 24/7, like every, it doesn't take up a lot of your time, but, you're focused on something else now because you want to develop that and build that up.
Exactly, man. And I think that that's a good segue into, this whole multiple streams of income thing that, man, we be talking about all the time. Like, how can I make more money? How can I make money every single day? Like, if I can make money every hour of every day, then I'm good.
Right.
So, like, what's your take on just the importance of the multiple streams of income?
Man, that's extremely important. I mean, I'm not the first person to say it, obviously.
Right.
Robert Kiyosaki, he's famous for he probably made it famous. As far as having multiple streams of income, and a lot of times that's such a vague statement though, because you don't really I understand that, but which ones or how, and you start asking all these questions. So it's a vague statement, but it's something that you do want to develop. And Uncle G, Grant Cardone, actually made a great point. You know what I'm saying? He said that his definition of multiple streams of income, you look at what you're doing currently, right? Instead of jumping straight out of, trying to replace something with something that you got to go learn something brand new in, take what you know and figure out a way that you can take what you're doing and kind of find another stream of income within that, right? So for instance, like within, we'll stick to what I'm currently doing, which is real estate, right? So in real estate, I make money buying and selling houses. Okay, cool. All right. So what's another way I can make money in this, right?
In the same thing.
In the same field, right? So it's not going to be brand new territory, because I'm going to tell you right now, that's like, I'm not going to go learn a brand new I'm 30 years old, dude. I'm on my sense of urgency, dude. I'm on a clock. So it's like, I'm not about to go. It took me 7 years just to even, get good at what I do. Right. So I'm not about to go and, try something brand new. So so it's like, what I could do? Oh, we have consulting clients. So develop that whole other stream of income just by coaching people, consulting people. I took another passion that I have, which is, online marketing and internet marketing. And I've taken that and applied that to what I currently know, which is real estate. Right. And so now with that, now I developed a whole new stream of income of getting consulting clients and showing them exactly how to do what I do on a daily basis, or what I've done, how to duplicate that for themselves. So that's another stream of income within that. Then, you take that and you build that up, and then you get my point. So yeah, you want to kind of stay in your lane. You want to stay where you are. You don't want to go, that's like, so, me and you were talking about, Forex trading and day trading and stuff like that. Like, that's a whole new skill in itself. Right. Yeah, it's both. So you got, I'm in real estate investing, right? All right, there's investing. Then you got real estate investing. You have stock investing. You have currency exchange, and you got all the currency trading and all this other stuff. But like, go and learn that's a brand new skill that will take years, realistically, to perfect and even get good at or great at, right? So, man, if you got a sense of urgency, I ain't got time to go do that. That's a different lane. That's not, it's in the same, field necessarily, but it's different. It's different. That's just like, that's like boxing and MMA. Like, whoever the fuck thinks Conor McGregor stands a fucking chance against Floyd Mayweather is fucking retarded. Like, yeah, it's both combat sports, right? But That shit is two different lanes. Boxing and jiu-jitsu and Brazilian fucking, like, dude, that's something completely different.
Right.
That's a whole different world, dog.
Mm-hmm.
They may be the same universe, but they're on two different planets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's like, you know, like that's the same thing. So you don't want to venture out too far. You want to kind of stay in your lane. But
at the same time, once you kind of master that, you can start a whole new business, you know, over time.
Absolutely. I mean, okay, and like, if you want to look at it like that, right? So, you know, you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, you know, and, you know, there's things that I do, like people don't even, you know of the different businesses that I've created and that I have right now and that I work on, right?
Right.
Like people don't even know that. A lot of people don't even know that I fucking sell deodorant.
Right. Natural deodorant.
Like that has shit to do with real estate. Right. Nothing to do with real estate whatsoever.
Right.
But I think, okay, I'm trying to make it a point. Like I want to say like my other passion, like how we were talking about passion just earlier, like is sales and marketing, right? And within that, you know, I've developed a love and passion for online marketing or internet marketing because I've been studying it for the last 5 years.
Right.
And I've gotten to a point where I'm not phenomenal yet at it, but I'm pretty damn good at it. And so now it's like, okay, but within that, I created a product and a service that I can use those skills that I don't have to necessarily go out and like, it's not me going and learn brand new because I've been studying for so long and I've been learning and applying throughout the years. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like me jumping, you know, if I say tomorrow, like, dude, I'm going to focus 70-80% of my time on my natural deodorant company, right? It's not me really like jumping out the gate because I've been doing it for some time. It's not like something that I just woke up one morning and say, I'm going to go do that.
Right. And see, that's right there. That's so key because what happens is people be like, I'm a jump, right? But they haven't been primed to jump. So when they jump, they end up right back at a job because they're not ready mentally or whatever it is. You know, for example, the perfect example is when I got out the military, I was working on myself for 3 years before I got out. So yes, I jumped per se, but my mind was ready for that because I had conditioned my mind for so long. And then I had a skill, which was photography. So I wasn't just jumping and I had to learn how to be an entrepreneur and I had to learn the skill that I wanted to offer to the world. No, I had some type of skill. I had a mindset and I jumped. So with you, you're not just saying, I'm going to go start a deodorant company. You would be saying, I'm going to grow the existing deodorant company.
Exactly. Because I created it and I haven't been, you know, because like my business partner, he's like, man, you need to spend more time on it. I'm like, look, dude, like I have to get this business perfect, like to the point where it's a well-oiled machine. And then I'm going to jump into that. Because I understand. And a lot of, like, people don't understand, bro. Like, people don't check themselves. Like, you got to look at your personality, too.
Right.
Like, I know guys that could juggle 3, 4, 5 different things at a time.
And do good at it.
It's a beat. Right? But, and, you know, and a lot of times, man, we try to look at other people and what they do. And figure, oh man, I could just duplicate that shit. You know how they always say, like, just copy and paste what other people doing. Like, yeah, to a certain extent, it makes sense. But I know Dominic, man. I know me for myself and what my fucking personality is. Like, I can't juggle 3 or 4 or 5 different things. I got ADD like a motherfucker. We be on the phone and you be like, yo, Dom, you heard me? Yo, attention. Like what I look like trying to juggle 4 or 5 different things.
Right.
Like what I'm gonna do is I'm going to master each one at different phases of my life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, how fast or whatever we get there, that's not up for me to decide, but I'm not going to do, because then you know, you're not giving your all to everything. You feel me?
Right.
Like you're half-assing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're half-assing it, bro. And so I don't want to half-ass it. Like I want to really build it to the point to where it's going to be, you know, one of the best ever.
Right.
One of the best ever businesses. So like, you know, you just you don't want to. You want to prepare yourself for the leap. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to just jump out the gate. I know people that go from one thing to the next without even mastering the first one.
Right.
You know, like you just got to know. Like for me, for the reason why I know, because like you've done it over and over again. You've reached a certain level, and like, okay, now I know it's time for me to, you know, it's time for me to go do this now, because, you know, the writing's on the wall, and only you will know that for yourself.
Because this is your life.
This is your life. People got to look at their own life. They got to look at their own personality and go based off of that a lot of times. I've kind of been dabbling into the Forex trade, just learning it. And, you know, I sat with, you know, my mentor coach for that. And he was like, man, a lot of people, they tell you how to do this. But a lot of times, man, you got to take your trading strategy based off of your personality, not because this one guy said, well, if you study the line this way, this is the end all be all. No, you go based off of what your personality is, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and that's really that's where I'm at with it. You know, I go based off of what I'm going based off of my personality. Mm-hmm. And right now I have things that I want to accomplish in different avenues, but I'm going to go into each one as I see fit when I can give it my time.
Right. And I think that was deep what you said, because what happens is people, they don't realize how powerful mental energy is. So right. For example, if you are trying to do 3 or 4 different things, like completely different, not like in the same thing.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to do 3 different things, your mind cannot it can't handle that, because
it might as well be confusing. Like, motherfucker, make up your mind.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Are we, make up your mind. What are we doing here?
Right. Is it real estate? Or are you a speaker? Or are you starting that tire company? Like, what is it?
Right.
Like, you cannot do all 3 at once, because your mind can only focus on one thing at a time. And that's why a lot of times they talk about multitasking. There's a study out there that shit don't even work. Mm-hmm. That's not even good for you, because you're taking away the energy from what you should be giving it to.
Right.
And just imagine, if you went all in on one thing, just imagine how powerful you would be. If you went all in and was like, yo, fuck track, fuck all of that, I'm about to be the best power lifter. Mm. And you trained to be a power lifter. You didn't say, okay, I'm going to do sprints, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going. No, you said, I am going to be a power lifter, so I'm going to train that way.
Right.
If you just dedicated your mind, your time to that, imagine how powerful that you would be.
Oh, extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. You have to develop, it's all about skill, right? And you look at like the people that we look up to and things of that nature, they have developed skills, right? And they perfected, they mastered that skill, that one skill, and got it so fucking great at it. And then over time, you've seen them kind of dabble into different things. It wasn't like they just hopped in they did this first, and then I'm gonna go do it. Nah, man, fuck that. Like you have to develop your skills, and you gotta give yourself time to develop. A lot of times people don't even. You tell me this all the time. A lot of times we don't give ourselves that much credit, or we don't even give ourselves the time to actually develop as a person.
Right. Because we so focused on the future, or we so focused on getting money. And what happens is, how can you get anywhere? How can you get to 20 if you haven't got to 3? Like, you gotta get to B before you get to the letter Z. Like, that's called a process. You know what I mean?
It's a process. And so, in entrepreneur, like, the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship though is, once you develop the skill, like I got my start within real estate, but I can take the general knowledge of business and running a business and apply it to any other business. So it is going to be easy for me to jump out and go and do something completely different.
Because you have the mindset for it. You trained for that.
Exactly. So I got great at that. Now the other things that I do, it may be a faster. It's going to be a faster, I guess, not approach, but they'll grow faster than it took me to develop the real estate business, because I earned my stripes within that part first. But even through the 7 coming up on 8 years of doing real estate and building that business up, like through the years of that, I didn't jump back and forth to other things.
Right.
I just did that. Now, did I prepare myself? Because through that time, I was studying online marketing. I was reading books, taking courses, going to seminars. I mean, you told me the other day, damn, bro, like when I showed you the books that I had.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, nigga, like you should be making 100 racks a month easily, right?
Right.
Off of online marketing.
Right.
Like, but see, I was preparing myself. Like, I knew the day was going to come. I couldn't give it my all, because it's like, okay, let me develop this first.
But let me just plant these seeds now.
Let me build that up. Let me have my successes and failures in this, and then now I'm gonna be able to apply that general knowledge with this newly, well, not even new, but over time I've learned all this stuff. Now let me go apply that skill that I learned of online marketing and apply here. Now I can take a natural deodorant company that's completely different from real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I can take the general knowledge of running a business and developing systems, processes, and procedures from real estate, apply it to the deodorant business, take the online skills that I've been developing through time, through trial and error and education, apply it to that general knowledge of running a business. Boom. That motherfucker gonna have exponential growth in like less than 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed. So, and then I'm gonna do it for that business, and then I'm gonna go do that business, and then that and so forth. So, we kind of got off on a tangent, but
no, we didn't.
Developing those multiple streams of income is very important, because you want to do it. You want to do it once you start to, like, only you'll know when it's time to do it. You don't want to come out the gate like I'm not going to tell, like, anybody's listening, if you have a job right now, right? I know, because you're probably like, sometimes I have to take myself back and put myself in your shoes, in your position. Right now, you have a job,
mm-hmm.
right? So you're working this job, and you have, you're thinking about, I want to get into this business, I want to get into online marketing, whatever, right? Okay. My advice is weird. My advice today is different from my advice that I would have gave you 8 years ago.
Right. Yeah. What's the difference between the two?
I quit my job and I just jumped in the business. And it's not the fact that I mean, that was what I did at that time. I'm a little bit more mature now. I was young. I could afford to do that at that time. So I don't know the age of the person listening. If you're like 19, 20, yeah, quit your job. Like, but if you got like responsibilities and shit like that, like you're a little bit more mature, you're like over the age of 30, 35, then I would probably say, yeah, you know, you have to go at the pace of life that you're at. So yeah, you can't just jump out, but you start to develop that business like while you can right now, taking your income of what you're getting from wherever it is, whether it's from a job or another business, and putting that aside, saving that to invest into the next thing, you know, because it takes money to make money. You got to pay to play. As I always say, you have to pay to play. And a lot of times is, you know, with this next, like with my other business, a lot of times the reason why it's been at a standstill is because I know I have to pay to play. And so I have been, you know, developing this to the point where like, okay, I could take this money from here and I saved up enough to go put into this business. Because I'm going to always bet on myself before I go and take out a loan or, you know, get money from other people. So, you know, that's, you know, you want to look for ways that you can, at this point right now, like you want to look for ways that you can maximize your time and optimize your time and the dollars that you may have saved, how you can, you know, optimize it to the best of your ability, right? So if you want to get into, you know, you're working a job right now and you want to get into online marketing, or which I recommend to every one of your listeners, like get into online business, whether that may be e-commerce, whether that may be coaching, consulting, or what have you, selling physical products or digital products. It don't matter. Get into it some way, somehow, because it's actually been the wave for some time. Some people just catching on to the wave, but, you know, people like me, you, and, you know, we kind of got into the water before the wave kind of actually arrived.
100%, bro. Because I ain't become no entrepreneur to put it on social media. I became an entrepreneur because I didn't want to work for nobody.
Nah, you don't want to work for nobody.
Yeah,
that's that, man. You want to be able to. I mean, we all kind of work for somebody to a certain extent. You work for your. Yeah, but in a traditional sense of, you know, no, you know, and, you know, we all should, whether it's a part-time business or full-time business, you want to have some ownership and you want to develop that to where you're not relying on one source, because if this income stream stops, I got all these other flows coming in, you know, at one time. So
and that's
you want to.
That's deep because, for example, I know somebody who she does a lot of client work and she's a copywriter. Now, she's making a lot of money. You know, she may have 5 contracts, 7 contracts, but each contract is worth like $30,000 a year, right? Now, if you got 5 of those, that's $150K a year. Or a month, whatever it is, right? 30 times 5, that's 150. Yeah, $150K a year. But at the same time, she's selling digital products like a mad woman. Why is that? Because she understands that at any given time, all of them clients could say, we don't need you no more. And she don't want to get caught with her pants down like nobody else wants to. So, you know, even having in the digital products that she sells are about what she does every single day. So that's another stream of income within what she already does, and it just makes it so much easier, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to add on to the point that you were just talking about.
And see, that's key, right? You add, you know, and kind of going back a little bit, retracting what kind of stated in the beginning. So, right now how it's set up, like just looking on my whiteboard, I got like 8 different ways of, streams of income. Some already implemented, some, still working on. I got 8 different ways, 8 different flows, different streams coming and funneling into me. And you want to be able to develop it to where you're taking a little bit from each one, where you're not taking up everything from every single one of them. So
talk about that right there, because I don't know if people caught that.
What's that?
You want to take a little bit from everyone as opposed to taking all of the profit from just one.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to take a small percentage from you want to take a little piece of every single one. So you want to take, let's say for instance, you start this, let's just say you got 4 streams of income. Let's use easy numbers, right?
Don't even matter what it is, just 4 different streams.
It doesn't matter. You got 4 streams of income. And each one, you're taking a quarter or 25% from each one. That makes a whole 100%. Right? So I'm taking 25% from him, taking 25% from them. And that may be bigger than what you should, but we're trying to keep it easy, simple for you. So you're taking 25% of each one. So now, okay, I made $100,000 in this business. Okay, I took 25. I made $100,000 in that business. I took 25. So each business made $100,000. That's $400,000, and you've taken $100,000 away from not one of them, but from each one.
Right.
Now, what happens is you're left with $75,000 for each business to pour back into each business
and grow.
Right. So you take a little bit. You don't want to pay yourself, and a lot of times I had to learn this
the hard way.
I had to learn this the hard way.
Yeah, dog, we all have, bro. We all.
Yeah, for the long I was eating everything from everything that came in, but I only had one stream.
Right.
That was what my problem was. The reason why I was fucking up is because I was eating all of my profits because, I'm a high value male and I have high value taste. I'm sorry. I'm not a firm believer in living below. That's bullshit to me. A young God, man. Like I'm, gotta shine, baby. Tomorrow ain't promised. I ain't got. I'm, and it's not like I'm I'm far. Me. I'm far from necessarily, show off or, a stunting type person or whatever. That's not that. But you know what I mean when I say high value. Like,
absolutely.
I like good things. Like I like eating well. I like living well. Things of that nature, right? So I'm not about to wait until I'm 40 to get it. Now, and I know a lot of people, they teach you that shit. And I mean, that works for them. But like I said, goes back to, you got to go based off of your personality. But, that's where I fucked up is because I was taking, if I made $100,000 in a year on real estate, I was probably eating like 75,000 of that. Go back to my business. No, that's real. It was reversed. Right. I was eating 75% and my business was only getting back 25%. So out of a whole year, think about that. You got your one stream is making 100,000, right? And over the whole course of the year, you put only 25,000 back, and you've eaten, you ate and shitted out 75,000 of that.
To put that in perspective, that's only putting back about $1,300 a month into the business, but it's producing $8,000 a month. Think about that. $100,000 a year is what? $8,333.33, right? So if you're making that a month, just for numbers' sake, you're only putting back $1,300 per month into your business. Now that sounds okay, but it should be the complete opposite because what that means is if you're only putting $1,300 back into the business, you were living off of the other, 7,000. as opposed to living off of maybe 1,500.
I was living well, dog.
See, like, but I learned the hard way too, man. You know, and that's why, like,
but see, and my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's why for me, I'm always broke. You know, because I will budget my own stuff because long term I want to be good.
Right.
You know, and I understand that as well. So I will eat, 20% of what I make just off the fact that I want to be able to, pay my VA, 4 months, 5 months in advance and not have to worry about that, stuff like that. And just have those when things come up, I could pay it as opposed to all the extra stuff.
Yeah, man, and that is, that's important, and that's where, although I was, you want to, and that goes with employee mentality and business owner mentality. And that actually had to be learned. I mean, I read many books on it, but it just wasn't sticking. It wasn't sticking until, I kept getting hit upside the head over and over, be like, oh, damn, this is, business is not going this way because, damn, we ain't got enough money to put in marketing because we got to pay this and we got to pay. It's like, oh, shit.
Right.
So, when it comes, there is a sweet science to it, bro. There's a sweet science to this, income thing. Because just because you in a business, just because you make 100,000 don't mean you made 100,000. If Mr. starts with a vision, which is your actual SWAV Enterprises, right? Your company.
Mm-hmm.
If SWAV Enterprises made $100,000 in a month, whatever, however you want to say it, let's just say $100,000. That doesn't mean Isaiah Fowler made $100,000. It means SWAV Enterprises made $100,000.
They generated that.
You may have made 2,500 of that,
right?
If it's a month, right? Or in a year, 25,000. Yeah, I only took home 25.
Yep, absolutely. But on the other flip side of that, I mean, things can go your way. You can make things go your way. For example, if my company, let's say my company made $100,000, I could get a car in my company's name and pay that off with my company income. So right. Just for people listening,
it's an expense. It's right. An expense for your business,
right?
But I mean, that's specialized knowledge that people got to learn,
right,
over time. So like I'm learning more and more that just when I thought I knew everything about being a business owner, you're like, oh shit,
right.
And this goes back to my conversation that I had with a big brother of mine the other day, and I kind of told you about this conversation. How he told me, he was like, listen, man, like we forget to continue to have mentors.
Mm-hmm.
You reach a certain level and you're like, oh, I'm good. Your ego kicks in and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna figure this shit out. But you gotta constantly, be looking for other mentors that's above you that'll learn different things, like that, to learn more, and I mean, I have many different people that, I consult with, and, like my mentor could only teach me how to get to a certain level, my first mentor. So now it's like, okay, now I had to go seek out somebody else that knows, like, okay, yeah, well, maybe my mentor taught me like the skill, maybe, right? Like right. You have mentors that teach you the skill.
Or the hustle or something else.
Right. My first mentor, he taught me how to find houses, fix houses, flip houses and shit like that. That was just a skill. But he didn't he wasn't able to teach me how to actually like the backside of shit.
Right.
Operating expenses, hiring and firing people, processes and procedures, things of that nature, filing taxes and things of that nature. And you'll be a damn fool if you try to figure that shit out on your own. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, oh, okay, I gotta go find a mentor that actually not only has, developed those skills, but I need somebody that knows those different nuances of running a business. because only they can show me how to do that.
Right.
So,
because that's their specialty.
Yeah.
Or that's what their mental energy is focused on.
Right. So they're at a different level. They're at a different pace.
Mm-hmm.
And, and that's the thing. You want to constantly be looking for other individuals that can teach you and mentor you to get to that next level. And like I said, it starts with the skill, but then eventually it starts into the other things, and you got to constantly just be, looking to grow.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, man. You ain't never lie about that one. Grow. That's the key right there.
Amazing.
So yeah, man. How can people contact you again, man?
Dom, let me see. You can contact me on Instagram. It's Dom Arnold Jr. or Jr. That's all one. Dom Arnold Jr. They can reach me at Facebook. Just search Dominic Turner Real Estate. Find me on LinkedIn. Dominic Turner Real Estate on LinkedIn.
That's DOMINIC.
Correct.
Right.
You can find me on LinkedIn, all those different networks. You can find me on. That's pretty much the best way. I need to set myself up with one of those text message services that you have, man. Where I could have a number that people can just kind of text me on, because that's pretty dope. Yeah. But yeah, that's how you contact me, and hit me up, man. I'm pretty much an open book. We're all growing together, and I always look forward to helping out other individuals, whether that's entrepreneurship, real estate, or what have you, or just wisdom, general wisdom.
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate you, man, and I'm always gonna continue to wish you nothing but blessings and abundance, because we all deserve that.
Man, we always want to be stay blessed, right? Be thankful, be grateful. If I leave people with anything, it's this, be fearless, be grateful, and everything else will fall into place, man. Yep. Be fearless, be grateful. That's it. Don't be afraid to take the leap, and always be thankful for what you currently have. Yep. And always be thankful, like for the simplest thing, and that's it. I mean, everything else will fall into place. Develop a skill, develop a few skills, apply it, master it, and move, and just constantly just developing skills, man. And everything will fall into place.
Yep. That's what it is, man. Well, everybody listening, man, you heard it here, man. Look, go get the multiple streams and just go get money, man, and just focus on who you are and know who you are, and stop looking outside of yourself. So we're gonna talk to you guys on the next episode. But if you ever need us, you got my number as well. You got Dom's contact information. Let's continue to grow and grow and grow.
Thanks for listening to the Starts With a Vision podcast. Come get your vision clear at www.startswithavision.com. See you there.